And so,
all right, so now we're going to go to the press conference live. Obviously, the International Cycling Union making the decision whether or not they're going to take away these 7 Tour de France titles.
UCI promised to prioritise our analysis of the report and to provide an early response, and we've done that. My message to cycling, to our riders, to our sponsors and to our fans today is cycling has a future. This is not the first time that cycling has reached a crossroads or that it has had to begin anew and to engage in the painful process of confronting its past. It will do so again with renewed vigour and purpose, and its stakeholders and fans can be assured that it will find a new path forward. The UCI wishes to begin that journey on that path forward today by confirming that it will not appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport and that it will recognise the sanction that USADA has imposed. The UCI will ban Lance Armstrong from cycling, and the UCI will strip him of his 7 Tour de France titles. Lance Armstrong has no place in cycling. The UCI will also recognise the sanctions imposed upon the riders who testified against Lance Armstrong. The UCI indeed thanks them for telling their stories. The UCI likewise has nothing to hide in responding to the USADA report, and that is also the purpose of today's press conference. And to inform you that the UCI has called a special meeting of the UCI Management Committee next Friday to discuss this report and the measures which the UCI wishes to put in place in order that we are never faced with such a situation in the future. Most of your pertinent questions will be answered in the press packs which you are just about to get in a moment. And we are here to answer your questions and to say to the cycling community, UCI is listening and is on your side. We have come too far in the fight against doping to return to our past. Cycling has a future, and something like this must never happen again. Okay, Deborah, if you would hand out the press packs now, I can then open the floor to questions.
All right, so there you have it. UCI coming down with a very, very permanent decision. Lance Armstrong, perhaps known as the greatest cycler in the history of the sport, a man who faced death and turned around and faced death and cancer and then turned around and won 7 Tour de France titles, has now been told that the UCI has ratified the decision put down by USADA that those titles no longer exist. So what made this man a household name? What made him a multi-millionaire? What made him somebody that was referred to as one of the greatest athletes ever is now as if those 7 Tour de France titles, they never even existed. So Lance Armstrong no longer really exists in the sport of cycling as UCI makes the decision to agree with USADA in taking away all 7 of those Tour de France titles, Natasha.
And that after them interviewing all of his, well, several teammates, I should say, and them testifying against him. So a remarkable announcement there. And he's never failed a drug test, but at the collaboration of their testimony. All right, Joe, thank you so much. Yeah.